Oh boy. Well, it's been a long time since I made one of these kind of videos. It has been a freaking long time since I made a Lindsey Stirling violin tutorial. It's been a long time since I uploaded a video on this channel. And the reason why is because on my TikTok live streams, I came up with a subscription goal that if 20 people are currently subbed to my TikTok's live streams, then I promise them I will do a Lindsey Stirling violin tutorial and then upload it to my YouTube channel. So here we are. Today we actually reached 20 subs in my TikTok live stream. 20 people have generously subscribed to me. And if you ever want to check out my TikTok live streams, I'm live almost every day at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time / Pacific Daytime. And sometimes I'll be doing some evening streams, somewhere between 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daytime. But consistently, every single morning, I always start at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Time. The song that I'm going to be doing is Spontaneous Me, and it's going to be the entire 24 measures. It's basically like all the different parts of the choruses, and it's like the hardest part of the song. So by the time you figure out how to play this section, which is 24 measures long, you pretty much already know how to play the whole song, because any sections outside of these are actually way easier. And some parts are used again. Like especially two different sections within this whole entire section is used throughout the entire song. So if you learn how to play all these 24 measures, you basically know how to play the entire song. This is the part I'm talking about. Hopefully my muscle memory carries on from my electric violin to this. So if there's any mistakes, then please forgive me. And that's it. By the time you learn how to do all these 24 measures, you basically know how to play the entire song. Now, this tutorial is mainly for the people who have experience with the violin. These are for people who understand the key signatures, who understand the beats per minute, or like the tempo, who understands time signature and everything, who understands slurring, pretty moderately paced 16th notes, and maybe double stops in some parts, but that's more like if you want to really advance yourself or push yourself outside of your comfort zone, then you could do some double stops. And also, this is a tutorial mainly for the ones who are, I guess, most of the time in tune with their playing, where most of the time their intonation is really good or like pretty fair and everything like that. I can't really teach you how to be in tune with this kind of piece. This is more for the ones who are around that skill level, who are more in like the intermediate type. Maybe someone who's played the violin between, I'm not sure, 4 years, maybe 8 years. But then again, some people can progress much faster than others. Starting off with the first measure, you got 3 sets of 4 16th notes. Each one of these 4 16th notes is slurred. So all you're just doing is you're bowing quarter notes. So just down, up, down, up. And to start off, it's basically just an ascending 16th note starting from the E, and then F sharp, and then G, A. I go over to the open A because there's going to be a note that I have to play on the A string. So E, F, G, A. The next 4 16th notes is B, A, G, F sharp. And then after that, B, A, G, A, B, D. So it's gonna skip the C note, which is in between the B and the D. So the last two beats, so basically your middle finger is going to get ignored because you're going from B, skip to D, and then E. So again, the first four measures. My way on how I tackle this next measure is that I do an open E. So I do that quick string crossing. I could do fourth finger. Like, do fourth finger E, and then transition into E string. But I don't know, I find this easier using the open E's for both of these E's. So again, 3 sets of 4 16th notes. Each 4 16th notes are slurred. So E, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp, G, A. Wait. How do I do this? Oh, okay, so I shift on the B. So I'm still in first position throughout the first 3 beats of the measure. And then I shift from A to third position on the B. So again. So then this quarter note B is going to get tied into an eighth note B. And then this is going to be a little bit complicated, but just bear with me, all right? So then after this, 2 16th notes, B, D, and then eighth note B, slurred down, and then 2 16th notes, A, B, and then eighth note A. So, like that. And then 2 16th notes slurred down bow, which is G and A. And then up bow for the quarter note G. So that part, whoops, it starts up bow. No, it starts with the down bow, my bad. You end that quarter note G on an up bow. So starting from the beginning, it's like this. That's the first 3 measures. And then the next measure, the fourth measure, would be these 16th notes. So it sounds like sets of 3 16th notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I put an accent on the upper notes, the F sharps, so that you can get that rhythm. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. So the 3 16th notes I'm talking about is F sharp, D, and then open A, and then same thing, F sharp, but with an up bow starting this time. And then the third F sharp is down bow. So for each of those F sharps, the first F sharp is on a down bow. The next F sharp is an up bow. And then the third F sharp is a down bow. So this is going to take a little bit of practicing to just get used to the bowing. They're all separate. There's no slurring in that part. So F, D, A, F, D, A, F, D. So the last measure is the 8th measure is pretty self-explanatory. 4 quarter notes, E, G, A, F sharp. But the 3 measures before that, the 9th, 10th, no, my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th, 6th, and 7th measures. This is where things get pretty intense. You can choose to either just play the top notes, so that bit in the 5th measure, it's basically two 16th note B's and then an 8th note E. Ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum. So, ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum. And then the next measure is two 16th notes G and then an 8th note E 2 times in a row. Just like that. And then B, two 16th notes B and then an 8th note G. So again. And then this is where you're throwing your 4th finger on the A string to hit the E so that you don't have to string cross all the way to the E string. You can just string cross to the A string to do the 4th finger E, which is two 16th notes E, and then 8th note B. So again, that 6th measure is this. So those, the 5th and 6th measure combined is this. And then the 7th measure is da, 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 da. So basically, the way that this is structured is it's a quarter note C tied with an 8th note C, and then so therefore you have this little trill. So C and then that little trill. So all that, the C, and then that little trill is worth 2 beats. And then you have the last 2 quarter notes, which is C and D. So again, that whole entire measure is, again, one more time, slower. And then E, G, A, F sharp. So the first 8 measures is this. All right, I made a mistake by adding all the bottom notes in that double stop. Now, if you want to do the double stops in those measures, what you want to do is hold down the 2nd finger on the G string to make a B, and then hold down the 1st finger on the D string, making an E. So basically, you're just tilting the bow just slightly enough so it touches both the G and D string, and then over time, or like each bow crossing, then it's just a G string by itself. And then the next part could be a little bit tricky. Basically what you want to do is you have your middle finger and your ring finger touch together, and you want to get it ready to just place it down so that your 3rd finger is on the D string, making a G, and then your 2nd finger or your middle finger is on B on the G string. So in that section, you're playing both the D, and G string at the same time. So now you want to also hold down your 1st finger on the E on the D string. And then keep the G string open. So keep the index finger on the D string only. Don't put it on the G string, but keep it on the D string. And then you just put down the 2 fingers, 3rd on D, and then 2nd on G string. The next bit, Now you want to move your index finger by just like slightly tilting it. So not only does your index finger stay on the D string, but it also stays on the A string as well. So now you're playing both E and B at the same time. Just like that. And then you want to put down your 2 fingers again. This one is a bit tricky because now you want to place your pinky on the A string, right? That's usually what I do is I will just hold these 2 fingers down, right? And then just place my pinky on top of the A string. Because now my ring finger is already on G. So now my pinky is on the A string for the E note. Just like that. And then, after all this, you want to lift all these 3 fingers up because your index finger is still on the E and the B. And after a while, you could get some hand cramps because trying to play with multiple fingers at once is a bit difficult. But once you play fast, it should be no problem. Sometimes with this bit, I like to add the open G string. By basically starting on the G string and then just rolling over to the D and A string. Just like that. Or you want to play the D and G string together. And then just play the C. Or and if you really want to, then just like play it all at once. By really digging into it, just We haven't even got to the next part, which is the 9th to the 16th measures. All right. This one is 3 sets of 4 16th notes, and then the last beat being 2 8th notes. And every 4 16th notes are slurred, and then the last 2 8th notes are slurred. So again, you're bowing in quarter note speed. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just the fingerings and the string crossing that's going to be a bit difficult. So you have E, F sharp, E, D. And then B, D, B, A. And then the next set of 16th notes is G, A, G, F sharp. This is where you use your 4th finger. And then 2 8th notes up bow, E and G. So again, that first measure. This next bit is going to be slightly difficult because you're going to be slurring 3 16th notes, and then 2 16th notes are tied, and then 2 16th notes are slurred, and it's a bit difficult to follow, but this is my version on how I play this section. Okay, so now I figured it out. So, 3 16th notes, E, F sharp, E, and then it's 2 16th notes that are tied because they're both Ds. So it's just basically an 8th note D, and then 2 16th notes D, B and D. So B and D, and then another 2 16th notes tied, which is both B. So just an 8th note B. And then 2 16th notes slurring down. And then 3 16th notes and an 8th note being slurred up bow. A, G, F sharp, E. So that measure alone. The way I had this sheet music written at first was the A, B, and A are slurred down bow, and then the G, F sharp, E, the two 16th notes G and F sharp, but then the 8th note E are slurred up bow. So it's just 3 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait. But I'm used to slurring the last 4 notes, A, G, F sharp, E, all in an up bow. And I still don't get offbeat, which is nice. Alright, so the first 2 measures, slowly. Ooh, now I actually did the correct method. Alright. So yeah, in my natural instinct, when I'm like really getting into the music without thinking, I do end up slurring the last 4 notes up bow. So all that bit. This one's going to be slightly difficult, right? Because now you're going to deal with more slurring of 3 16th notes and then another 2 16th notes tied to make it look like an 8th note. And then bunch of string crossings, more sets of 3 16th notes and all that stuff. So now, bear with me. 3 16th notes down bow, E, D, E. And then G, 2 16th notes G tied, so it's like an 8th note G going up bow. So like this. So E, D, E, G, and then 2 16th notes E, G, and then 2 16th notes tied together, B, making an 8th note B. And then this part is where it gets really complicated, because now you're going to do all sorts of string crossing. And even the highs sometimes have a problem with this. I'm trying to see like what's actually correct. All right. Oh boy. So after that tied B's, after that tied 2 16th notes B's, and now you're going to do G, E, B, G, E, B, E. So that bit right there. And again, if any of you have this is also for the ones who have the sheet music on you. I should have mentioned that in the beginning, but you should have the sheet music in front of you so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then again, this is my transcription of Spontaneous Me, so it could be slightly different than what you have if you bought the Lindsey Stirling version. Come Come on. Alright, so now the next measure is G, B, B, G, B, B, G, D. So, the first G note is a down bow, and then the second G note is an up bow, and then the third G note is a down bow. So, like this. So, down, up, down. And again, for this one, you want your ring finger and your middle finger to touch, because that's what makes these two notes. And then let go for the D string. And then the next part, A, F sharp, D, A, F sharp, D, A, F sharp. Another set of 3/16 notes. And then a final 2/16 notes. You're basically just like rolling your pinky and your middle finger. So, alright, the next measure. This one's also a bit complicated if you don't know the rhythm as much. 2/16 notes, E, B, and then a 16th note rest, because now you want to make these sound short, right? This is what it would sound like. So, E, B, 16th note rest, G, 16th note rest, B. So, E, B, G, E, B, G, B, E. With a 16th note rest in between those slow notes. And then up bow on the B, 2 16th notes, G and F sharp, and then 2 8th notes, E and F sharp. So again. Alright. This bit, in my opinion, is the hardest part of the song. These runs of 16th notes that are worth 3 measures. That bit right there. G, these are all 16th notes. All of these are 16th notes except for the last 2 notes, they're 8th notes. So here we go. G, D, B, G, D, G, B, G. D on the A string, and then B. Oh, now here's this part, right? Because after the first 2 sets of 16th notes, the next note would be a D, which is your 3rd finger on the A string. So either I rotate my wrist this way to roll my ring finger to the 3rd finger spot on the A string, or sometimes I just flatten my finger completely. See, notice how it's curved? It's curved like this, and then I flatten it. I flatten it like this, just like that. You can see my flattened finger, my flattened ring finger. Like that, it happened twice. So all that. So again, G, D, B, G, D, G, B, G. Flatten or roll. D, D, B, G, D, B, D, G, F sharp. So. And now G, E, B, A, G, fourth finger A, G, F sharp, and then G, E, and then B, and then E, G, E, G, E, F sharp, D, A, which is your fourth finger. So F sharp, D, fourth finger, and then D, F sharp, D, G, D, A. Okay, so I still use my fourth finger A. So after fourth finger A, F sharp, and then D, open A, and then finally 2 8th notes, F and D. So all that 3 measures would sound like this. That bit will be difficult because you are skipping notes. You are skipping from A to F sharp, and then up to D, and then open A. So again, that whole entire 3 measures. I wonder if it's like easier to look at this. Or like this. Last 8 measures. Last 8 measures. Okay, so the first measure is pretty straightforward. It's just basically an ascending 16th notes. E, F sharp, G, A. And then quarter note, B. And then again. So E, F, G, A. All down bow. And then a B up bow. However, on the last B, now you want to shift to third position so you can get ready for the C note, which is your third finger in third position. So B, C, B, A. Shift down back to first position. So now your second finger G, and then G, A, G, F sharp. And then 2 8th notes, E, F sharp, and then E, D. And then, just like in the middle section, so again, 3 16th notes going down bow, E, F sharp, E, and then 8th note D, 2 16th notes B and D, 8th note B, and then 2 16th notes A and B. And then 3 16th notes and an 8th note, A, G, F sharp, E. Now, the next measure is ascending 16th notes, E, F sharp, G, A. And then this little trill. Basically, it's your index finger, and then you tap with your middle finger very quickly with that C natural. So you just tap, and then let go. Tap and let go. Tap and let go. Tap. Tap with your index, and then ring. No, index, middle, and then let go. See, just these two fingers. Excuse me. You might want to just like do a little practice on rolling your fingers. And after that, then you have a quarter note G, and then F sharp E. I mean F sharp. So G, F sharp. So that measure again. This next bit is going to be quite difficult, all right? Because now you're going to deal with like offbeat type things or just rhythm. So basically, it's 2 E's and then a B, 2 E's, and then C, 2 E's. Whoops. Try to practice that rhythm for a bit. So it's alternating from B and then C, B, and then C with 2 E notes in between. So yeah, that measure, that first measure, 2 E's, B, 2 E's, C, 2 E's, B, 2 E's, C, 2 E's, B, and then E, which is the last 16th notes. That's it. So yeah, look at my finger. It's not moving around this much because I'm just placing it for the C. Oh, also, you want to keep your index finger on both the D and A string, so you play both the B and the E. Because as you can see, I'm not rolling my hand to the other side, I'm just keeping it placed down. As long as you put your finger in between the D and A string, not mostly on the D, not mostly on the A, but in between, and then press down firmly. Now you can play both of these notes at the same time. So all you have to do is just do some crazy string crossing. Oops. Okay. My phone battery is about to die, so I gotta wrap this up quickly. So basically, the fingering isn't that hard. It's just a string crossing that makes it hard. And now, C, E, D, E, C, E, B, E. So basically, the upper notes, C, D, C, B. There's a lower E note in between each note. So just practice this. Again, keep the index between the A and the D string. And then 2 16th notes C and then 2 16th notes D. And then E, A, 2 F sharp. So that whole 2 measures. Oh, I messed up. I forgot to change that F sharp down to an A. So it's C, D, E, A, F sharp, A. So G, quarter note, this is the next measure, tied to an 8th note G. And then 2 16th notes, all slurred with down bow as well, F sharp and E. Just like that. And and then shift up to the second finger B, and then B, D, B, A, and then shift back down to second position. G, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, D, and then two eighth notes going up. So Alright, that's the entire 24 measures. Before my phone battery dies, I'm going to do what I usually do, is to play the entire thing slowly and then build my way up to the normal tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Maybe I should do a little bit slower. I'm gonna try to do it as slow as possible and try to control my speed. My bad. I might have rushed a bit. I think I started a lot slower than I ended. Alright, I'm gonna build up the speed to almost the tempo, and then I'm gonna finish off with the normal speed. 1, 2, ready, and go. Alright, last thing. I'm going to do the whole thing fast, and then that'll be the end of my violin tutorial. Hopefully this has been very, very helpful. I wish I could go through every bit of detail, like the fingerings and everything for each note. But again, this is only for the people who either have the sheet music or like understand of the more intermediate level of violin playing, who understand shifting and already know the key signature, which in this case, there's one sharp, which is F sharp. So this is in the key of E minor / G major. And the quarter note, each quarter note is 130 beats per minute. So this is what it would sound like at normal speed. 1, 2, ready, go. Whoops, 1, 2, ready, go. There we go. Obviously, this is going to take a bunch of practice to get to normal speed because this is a very, very hard section. In my opinion, Spontaneous Me is Lindsey's 5th hardest song out of all the songs that I played. And out of all the songs I listened by Lindsey, understanding the violin a whole lot, I can pretty much tell that Spontaneous Me is definitely up there in like the top 5 hardest songs that she's ever composed. I believe that Take Flight is harder than Spontaneous Me, but Element is slightly easier than Spontaneous Me. And so I think that Element might be the 6th hardest unless there's something that's in between Spontaneous Me and Element. Maybe Mirror House, I have no idea. But again, these are just my personal opinions. Where Spontaneous Me is her 5th hardest, Take Flight from her Shatter Me album is her 4th hardest. And then also another disclaimer, these are the songs of that I played. I don't know a single song from her Brave Enough album. I only know one song from her Artemis album, which is Underground. I don't know anything from her other Christmas albums, but those ones really don't count. Maybe Snow Waltz because that's her original works as well. But based off of the ones that I played, 5th hardest, Spontaneous Me. 4th hardest, Take Flight from her Shatter Me album. 3rd hardest, ZZ's Journey from her 1st album. 2nd hardest, Shadows from her 1st album. And number 1, Transcendence from her 1st album. Because the chorus and the bridge is so evil. I can't even imagine having to dance while playing this, let alone having to just focus on being as clean as possible and with like perfect string crossing. Oh, that last section of the bridge is very, very evil. Lindsey was super creative in her techniques of the violin playing in her 1st album. That's why I think her 1st album is my personal favorite. Shatter Me comes 2nd. And other part of her albums like Warmer in the Winter, Brave Enough, Snow Waltz, and then Artemis. I don't know where to rank those, but I do know that my top 2 is definitely Shatter Me at number 2 and then Lindsey Stirling at number 1. I'm almost reaching at 50 minutes in this video. I am not going to cut anything from this video. I wanted to make it like a seamless video from start to end because number 1, cutting a bunch of stuff here and there is going to be so much of a hassle. And number 2, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more genuine when I'm making a video and then I don't edit like all the cuts to see if I remove some embarrassing stuff. Like, I want this channel to be representing myself, my personality. I don't want to hide anything. Unless, of course, it's super, super personal, then I will. So, 2, 50 minutes. Thank you so much again for watching this violin tutorial. Thank you to all the people who have subscribed to me on my TikTok account during my live streams. Seriously appreciate all the amazing support. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made this violin tutorial. I would not have been motivated to make this violin tutorial. Don't expect another upload from me on YouTube, because I'm mostly away from YouTube. I'm mostly doing TikTok live streams. Again, I stream every day at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. And I usually stream for about 4 hours or more. And you'll see me stream perform a lot of Lindsey Stirling songs or a bunch of video game soundtracks. And then if anyone has any questions about the violin, I can definitely answer them to the best of my abilities, because I never took violin lessons. I've only done orchestra from my 4th grade year to my senior year in high school. So it was just 8 years taught in grade school, but never took private lessons because my family and I, it was just way out of our budget. So again, thank you so much again for watching this violin tutorial. Really enjoy this. I absolutely missed the hell out of this. And hopefully, see you in my live streams. Bye-bye.